Hey guys, it is Patrick McLeay with Guild Mortgage here, and today I'm going to be going over and debunking 5 mortgage myths. The first of these myths is this idea that people think they cannot afford a house. If you can afford to pay monthly rent, there's a high chance you'll probably be able to afford a monthly mortgage payment. People often look at the sales price of a house and just assume that the payments for that are going to be way out of their reach and out of their price range. Chances are a mortgage payment is probably going to be a lot more affordable than you think, might be even cheaper than your current rent. So the best place to start for this is to talk with a mortgage lender, like one of the Guild guys, and see really how much you can qualify for. Myth 2 is that you must put 20% down to buy a home. Yes, 20% down is beneficial in some aspects, like you can avoid paying that private mortgage insurance. But the reality is a lot of people don't have 20% down. So that's the good news, is that there are a lot of loan programs out there that only require down payments as low as 3%. Some require 3.5%. And believe it or not, you can even get a mortgage with putting 0% down, which is just crazy. But that's the thing. Those types of loan programs are out there, and they're very attainable and really end up being really good deals down the road. Myth number 3 is that you have to have excellent and perfect credit to get a mortgage. The truth is, your credit score doesn't have to be flawless to find a mortgage that fits your budget. Credit history really does have a impact when it comes to a mortgage, but it's not the only factor. As we mentioned before, there are loan programs that require low down payments, and even some that require lower credit scores. So if you have less than that perfect credit, don't ever give up on the idea of getting a mortgage, because truly it's attainable, and you don't have to have that perfect credit score to get a mortgage. Myth number 4 is the idea that renting is cheaper than buying a house. Now, you may think you can't afford a home, but when you really think about it, think about what you're spending your money on. When you're renting, that money is just going for you to have a place to live. That money, you don't ever see it again. But when you own a house and you have a mortgage, each time you make that monthly payment, a good portion of it is going to paying down the principal, which is going to be building up your equity in the house. And if you hold on to the house for a few years, that equity is going to keep rising, which means when you go to sell the house, you're going to be able to sell it, and you're going to walk away with more money than you started with when you put down money on the house. So really, it is a great return on the investment, as each year goes by. Also the other side to these mortgages is that when you get a fixed rate, your payments are not going to change. Opposed to like where you rent, a landlord could come in and say, "Oh, I'm going to charge an extra $100. I'm going to charge an extra $200." And there's no way for you to combat that. That's their house, their rules, their agreements, and if you don't abide to that, then you can go somewhere else. On this, your payments are fixed, which is just another great benefit of owning a house. And then the 5th myth that we're going to debunk is the difference between a pre-qualification and a pre-approval. Now, you can get pre-qualified in a matter of minutes by just answering a few questions. A pre-qualification is truly just based off of your word saying, I make this much money, I work for this company, and I have this much money to put down. Opposed to a pre-approval, which is where we go through and we verify all that information down to the dot. We say, you have this much money, you get this much money per month, you have stable income, you have a stable job, and you really can afford this house. Nowadays, pre-qualifications really aren't worth much. Most sellers out there really prefer a pre-approval letter, since that really is a much more accurate representation of your ability to afford and buy a house. So when you're getting ready to purchase a home, make sure that you get pre-approved and know what you can truly afford. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you learned something new. And if you ever need anything, reach out to the Guild guys. We got your back. Have a great one.